Hi, I'm Martina, I'm in Queensland, Australia, and today I'll be cooking Gamjatang for you using doenjang, kanjang and gochujang. So I love to camp and I love to cook outdoors, and I like to use a Dutch oven, or you might know it as a camp oven, or a cast iron oven. So these are the kind of pots that we use outdoor on our fires when we're camping here in Australia. And I was thinking about how Korean food was traditionally cooked in cast ironware, and I thought this would be a perfect dish to cook when I'm out camping. Gamjatang has, bones. It's a really hearty broth, and the smoking the bones absolutely enhances the flavour. So I think this is a really good dish to cook outdoors, and I look forward to showing you how I do it. Here's some of the ingredients that I'll be using today to make our gamjatang. I've got some pork bone, I've got some bean sprouts, wombok, I've got potatoes, onion, garlic, ginger. Of course, I've got gochujang and doenjang and some gochugaru, as well as sesame oil and sesame seeds, which I'll be using to make our soup today. The first step is to remove all of the blood from the bones. So we're just going to soak all of the bones in some water for about 30 minutes, just to make sure that we get a nice clean broth without any impurities in it. So you can see now that the water has quite a bit of blood and impurities in it. So now we're going to change the water and get some. So today we'll be cooking on a fire. We're going to be using a camp oven to make our gamjatang. So we've got some homemade fire starters in there. So I'm just going to light that and our fire will get started. And so hopefully that'll just light up, and we'll gradually build, adding more wood to the fire so that we can get some lovely coals ready to make our gamjatang. So you can see that the fire is starting to burn down to the coals, and now it's time to get our meat into our pot. So as you can see, we've got our pork. It's changed colour after being washed a couple of times, and we're going to transfer it into our camp oven pot. So we'll put those pork pieces across into our pot there, and we're going to add some fresh water, and then we'll start to add our ingredients. So our pot is now on for the boil. We're going to add in some garlic, and a little bit of ginger, and that's just going to remove any of the smell or things associated with the bones. So that we're going to leave that on. We're going to put the lid on now, and we're going to leave that to come to a slow boil over the fire. I'm going to check on our pot now to see if how our boiling is going. As you can see, that is boiling nicely. So you can see that all the impurities have come to the top, all that grey stuff. So what we're going to do now is actually take that off, clean it, and put some fresh water that we've got over there in before we add our sauces and, of course, all of our lovely vegetables. So that's our next step. So we'll let our pot boil for probably another 10 minutes, and then we'll change out the water and we'll start to make the soup. So now that we've done that, cleaned out our pot, I'm just putting the bones on the charcoal just to give them a bit of a charcoal flavour before it goes back in the pot, which will give our stew a really beautiful depth of flavour. our pot back on now, and we're just going to add in some fresh water. So the next part is we're actually going to start to add in our ingredients. So we've got, first off, we're going to add in some red pepper flakes here. You can see they're very bright, beautiful colours. So we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of our red pepper paste. Then we're going to add a tablespoon of our gochujang, because that's our beautiful sauce that we can use. So we'll give that a bit of a stir in there. And then we're going to add in some doenjang. So one of our things of doenjang as well. So we'll give that a bit of a stir. So we're also going to add in a couple of shiitake mushrooms into our pot, and we're going to add in some onion that's going to cook down. So as you can see, our pot's starting to fill up a bit, so we'll add in those, and we're also going to add in some of our potatoes as well into our pot. So we'll just adjust our pot a little bit. So you can also add in some fish sauce as well if you like, just to add a little bit of flavour. Or we have this beautiful, wonderful soya sauce, which I like to add in myself, which is really good. So you can just add a little bit of that for a bit of saltiness into the pot. And so when we come back, we will add in our wombok cabbage and our bean sprouts just to finish it off. So we're going to leave that now to boil slowly and to get some heat into it. Okay, so just taking the lid off, having a look at our vegetables. Our stock is definitely boiling now. So now we're going to add in some of our vegetables. So we've got some wombok cabbage that we're adding in. It's nice and sweet. And of course, we've got some lovely bean sprouts that we're adding into our soup. So that's going to be... Okay, so our soup has been cooking for about 1.5 hours, probably 2 hours now, on a low boil on the coals. So if we pull it off, you can see that beautiful colour from the doenjang and the gochujang. And our potatoes and shiitake mushrooms are cooked now. So let me just get a little bit of that out. The meat is starting to fall off the bone, as you can see from there. If you look, that is one beautiful mouthful of Gamjatang. So thanks for watching as we cooked Gamjatang on a camp oven.